The deep well of depression is my interpretation of what it's like to live with depression. It's my way of describing that dark place in this disorder. I believe that by conceptualizing the components that make up the anatomy of this dark well, we can shed light on an otherwise dark and mysterious place, and maybe we can find a way out. In this video, I'm going to talk about the next component of the deep well of depression concept, and that is the sun. But first, hello, Jamie Dukes here, and welcome to Deep Well Motivation, where we share knowledge, perspectives, and actions to help motivate you to be the best you can be in your mental health. If you'd like to join us on our wellness journey, we upload 1 to 2 videos per week. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and click the notification button so you don't miss a single upload. On this channel, there is hope always. The deep well depression diagram, you'll notice way up there is the sun. And what the sun serves to represent are the things in our lives that we are truly grateful for, the things that bring our lives meaning. You know, things in our lives that we are so blessed to have. It could be related to family, it could be related to a wonderful circle of friends, it could be your career. Maybe you love your job and you love the people that you work with, and you just love nature, you love life, and all the things that make you feel this way are represented by this sun. And in the deep well of depression concept, the sun radiates heat, obviously, at the top of the well. So if you're standing above the well, up there in the grass, like where your supporters are, if you're standing up there, you're going to feel the heat of the sun. You're going to feel the warmth of the sun. Intensity of the heat represents just how much you are grateful for the things that you do have. Okay? It's the warmth, it's the intensity of appreciation that you have for all the things in your lives that you are so grateful for. So the closer to the sun you are, the more appreciative you are of the things that bring your life value and meaning. So by that logic, the further away from the sun you are, the less intense the heat, and i.e., the less your ability to appreciate the wonderful things in your life. So for the person who is treading water at the bottom of this well, the only evidence of good in this person's life while they're struggling to stay afloat, while they're struggling with their symptoms, is represented by this tiny little beam of sunlight that stretches down to the bottom of this well. So you can appreciate that tiny little beam of sunlight would give off very, very little heat, if any. And all that's noticeable is this little shiny beam. So the further away from the sun you are, the less you can feel the heat, i.e., which represents the less appreciation you have for the good things in your life. It's hard to truly be engaged and in the moment and enjoy the great things in life when you're struggling with depressive symptoms, when you're being attacked by these piranha of depression, so to speak. So at the bottom of the well, it is so difficult to not only feel the warmth from this tiny beam of sunlight, but it's sometimes difficult to even see it, because when we're struggling, you know, our faces are partially submerged, and it's difficult just to even lift your head out of the water and even notice the real great things that exist in your life, the things that bring your life meaning and value. But sometimes our symptoms can become so overwhelming that and all-encompassing that we just fail to see the wonderful things. And that's the idea here, is that for the person who is at the bottom of the well trading water, it makes it very difficult for that person to be able to appreciate all the wonderful things that they have going for them while struggling with their depressive symptoms. And that's why sometimes we think about people who are in such a terrible place. You wonder, why are they, why is it that they're struggling, or why is it that they seem miserable all the time? They have so much going for them. Maybe they have lots of money. Maybe they have like tons of friends. Maybe they have the best job in the world, but they still struggle. I mean, all you have to do is look at Hollywood, and the odd time, you'll hear about somebody who's famous, rich and famous, committing suicide or whatever the case might be, like Robin Williams, for example, a wonderful comedian and a wonderful actor, loved a lot of his movies. And you think, man, this guy had it all. Why? Why would he do that to himself? Or Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, top of the game. He was in one of the best bands ever, right? From Linkin Park. I love that band. What happened? They had everything. Why? Why would they do that? Why would they just stop trying? Why would they stop trying to tread water and give in to the merciless attacks of these prana of depression, so to speak, if we want to tie that into the deep well of depression? Why? And that's the thing. There's no rhyme or reason, but it just goes to show when our symptoms are left unresolved and we can't do what we need to do, be who we need to be as responsible and be as proactive or whatever the case might be, when we just can't seem to find that hope, to identify that little beam of sunlight. That's the first step when you're struggling, I believe, in this disorder, is that just, if you can just lift your head out of the water long enough, look at that little window of opportunity, see the little tiny beam of sunlight, and maybe generate just enough momentum to be able to take action, do something a little different that might be able to produce some momentum for you to begin to heal, or at least give you motivation to keep trying, to keep treading water, so that, when you look up and you can at least see the light coming, from at the top of the well, that gives you some element of hope. That little beam of sunlight is to represent hope in this disorder, because you do have wonderful things going for you. You just, from time to time, it's hard to visualize that when you're struggling with symptoms. It's very hard to but if we can somehow just open our eyes long enough and really focus in on that tiny little beam, then we can do, we can start our healing. We can generate enough hope, generate enough momentum for us to keep fighting, to keep treading water, to keep, kicking away these prana of depression that's biting at us, and instead, look for that way out. Okay, look for the next step that you need to do to improve in your disorder. And the higher up that you can climb out of this deep well of depression, the warmer the sensation of the sun's rays are going to feel on your face, until you get to a point where you get to the top of that well and you're going to be fully, you're going to feel the full warmth of the sun, the full radiating warmth of the sun. The intensity of the heat from the sun is going to make you truly appreciate the wonderful things in your life, the things that bring value and meaning to your life. That's what happens when you get to the top of the well. But until you get there, we really have to do our best in this disorder to look at that tiny beam of sunlight and try to generate a little, just try to feel some of that heat, some of that appreciation for the great things you have in your life. Because those little great things that you can identify at the bottom of that well can generate tremendous momentum in your healing in this disorder. Thank you for watching, and I hope you got something out of today's video. I just want to mention that much of the content on my channel is inspired by my self-help book entitled A Deep Well Perspective for Healing in Depression, introducing 7 action steps to overcoming depressive symptoms. You can find it on Amazon, and I've provided a link to my book in the description box below. Check it out. Remember, on this channel, there is hope always.